Let me ask you a question, gentlemen. A question that perhaps keeps you up at night, staring at the ceiling. Does the word prostate fill you with a quiet, persistent dread? A cold knot in the pit of your stomach? Do you find yourself constantly mapping out bathroom locations before you even leave the house? Do you worry about the frustratingly frequent urge to urinate? The weak, hesitant stream that never feels complete? The humiliating dribbling afterwards? Does the thought of getting up 2, 3, 4, even 5 times a night rob you of precious sleep, leaving you exhausted and irritable the next day? Do you fear the intimacy of the doctor's office, the dreaded DRE, the digital rectal exam? And looming behind it all, do you live with the terrifying shadow of the C word, prostate cancer, casting a pall over your golden years? You are absolutely not alone. This is a silent epidemic ravaging the health and well-being of men worldwide. Prostate issues ranging from the benign but life-disrupting enlargement known as BPH to the nightmare scenario of aggressive metastatic cancer affect millions upon millions of men over the age of 50. The statistics are not just numbers, they represent fathers, brothers, husbands, friends. They are chilling. 1 in 8 men will face a prostate cancer diagnosis in their lifetime. For 2024 alone, nearly 300,000 new cases are projected in the United States. Think about that. That's a football stadium full of men hearing those terrifying words this year alone. And what are you told are your options? The standard medical playbook often feels bleak. Watchful waiting, which often translates to anxious waiting, doing nothing while the fear and the disease potentially grow. Invasive surgeries, radical prostatectomies that carry devastating, life-altering risks of permanent incontinence and erectile dysfunction. Radiation therapy, burning the delicate tissues in your pelvis. Hormone-blocking drugs that chemically castrate you, causing weight gain, hot flashes, depression, and loss of libido. A grim menu of choices, none of them truly appealing, all of them carrying a heavy price. But what if I told you there's something else, something hidden in plain sight, something the multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry, the complex hospital systems, perhaps even your own well-meaning but conventionally trained doctor doesn't talk about? Something so simple, so natural, so incredibly powerful, it's almost been deliberately ignored, perhaps even actively suppressed, maybe even forbidden? What if I told you that Mother Nature herself, in her infinite wisdom, has provided a secret weapon, a common, delicious, readily available fruit, likely sitting in your grocery store produce aisle right now, that contains unique, divinely engineered compounds so potent they have been shown in groundbreaking, though often underfunded and overlooked, preliminary research to not just slow down or prevent prostate cancer, but to actively hunt down, target, invade, and destroy prostate cancer cells where they live, potentially initiating the cellular annihilation process overnight. It sounds impossible, I know. It sounds like wishful thinking, like a desperate fantasy. I understand your skepticism. Trust me, as a conventionally trained medical professional, I was the biggest skeptic of all. My name is Dr. Alan Reed. While my foundational background is in neurology, my passionate focus for the past decade has been on the devastating intersection of aging, cellular inflammation, oxidative stress, and cancer prevention, particularly focusing on the unique challenges faced by men's health. I have dedicated myself to sifting through countless scientific studies, ancient medicinal texts, forgotten folk remedies, and compelling patient anecdotes, often dismissed by the rigid dogma of mainstream medicine. And today, I am compelled, ethically and morally, to share what I believe to be one of the most powerful, potentially life-saving, yet criminally suppressed secrets for male prostate health. I am going to reveal this forbidden fruit. I will explain the shocking, cutting-edge science, the science they don't want highlighted, behind how its unique compounds target and destroy prostate tumors with laser-like precision. And I will tell you exactly how to incorporate it into your daily life for maximum, rapid effect. Forget the fear that paralyzes you. Forget the limited, brutal options presented as your only hope. Forget what you've been told is inevitable, because today you are going to learn how to potentially reclaim your prostate health naturally, powerfully, deliciously, and starting tonight. Stay with me. This is not just another health video. This could change everything. Before we unveil this natural powerhouse, let's truly, honestly, unflinchingly look at the enemy we are fighting. Let's understand the insidious ways prostate issues can steal a man's vitality and peace of mind. The prostate gland, seemingly insignificant, just a small walnut-sized organ nestled below the bladder, surrounding the urethra. Its main biological job is simple: producing the seminal fluid that nourishes and transports sperm. But as men age, often starting as early as their 40s or even late 30s for some, this gland frequently begins to undergo a process of enlargement. This is benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. While the word benign technically means non-cancerous, let me assure you, its effects on your daily quality of life are anything but harmless. Imagine a clamp slowly tightening around a garden hose. That's what the enlarged prostate does to your urethra, the tube carrying urine from your bladder out of your body. The result? That maddeningly frequent, urgent need to pee, often waking you multiple times a night, shattering your sleep and leaving you perpetually fatigued. Difficulty starting the urine stream, standing there waiting, straining. A weak, slow, often dribbling stream that seems to take forever. The frustrating, uncomfortable sensation that your bladder is never truly, completely empty. Straining so hard you risk developing hernias or hemorrhoids. Sometimes even painful urination or blood in the urine. BPH begins to dictate your entire life. Planning trips around bathroom availability, avoiding long car rides, feeling embarrassed in public restrooms, experiencing anxiety about potential accidents. And if left unmanaged, seemingly benign BPH can escalate to serious, irreversible complications. Recurrent urinary tract infections, UTIs, that require constant antibiotics, painful bladder stones, bladder damage, and in severe cases, even kidney damage or failure due to the back pressure on the urinary system. And then, casting a long, dark shadow over it all, there's the bigger existential fear: prostate cancer. As I mentioned, the statistics are horrifying. 1 in 8 men. It often grows silently, insidiously, without any noticeable symptoms in its early, most treatable stages. This is why screening is important, but often feared. But when it escapes the confines of the prostate gland, when it metastasizes, spreading to the bones, the lymph nodes, the lungs, it can become an agonizing, relentless, and ultimately deadly disease. It remains the second leading cause of cancer death in American men, a silent killer stalking our fathers, brothers, and friends. Let's talk frankly about the standard treatments: the radical prostatectomy, the surgical removal of the entire prostate gland. Yes, it can remove the cancer, but the risks are profound. Surgeons must navigate a minefield of delicate nerves, controlling urination and erection. Damage is common: permanent erectile dysfunction, the inability to ever achieve a natural erection again; permanent urinary incontinence, the humiliation of wearing pads or diapers for the rest of your life. These are devastating consequences that rob men of their vitality, their intimacy, their very sense of manhood and dignity. Radiation therapy, beaming high-energy rays into your pelvis. It too carries risks of damaging surrounding tissues, causing bowel problems, rectal bleeding, urinary issues, and secondary cancers down the road. Hormone therapy, essentially chemical castration, it effectively shuts down testosterone production, leading to hot flashes, severe fatigue, muscle loss, weight gain, mood swings, depression, and complete loss of libido. Is this truly living? Is it any wonder so many men live in quiet fear, avoiding checkups, delaying diagnosis, hoping against hope it won't happen to them? But fear is not a strategy. Denial is not a solution. Ignorance is not bliss when it comes to your health. What if true prevention? What if slowing progression? What if even supporting the reversal of cellular damage was possible through something simple, something delicious, something readily available, something nature intended all along. So what is this forbidden fruit that holds such incredible, almost unbelievable potential for prostate health? What is this natural weapon that seems almost too good to be true? It's the pomegranate. Yes, that ancient mystical fruit, bursting with hundreds of jewel-like seeds encased in a leathery rind. A fruit often depicted in mythology across cultures, revered for centuries in traditional Persian, Ayurvedic, and Chinese medicine for its remarkable healing and life-extending properties. Pomegranate? You might be thinking, isn't that just a healthy fruit? Good for antioxidants? Yes, and emphatically no. It is far, far more than just another healthy fruit. The pomegranate is a unique nutraceutical powerhouse, a biological treasure chest packed with specific, potent compounds found almost nowhere else in the plant kingdom in such concentration. Compounds that cutting-edge scientific research is now revealing have astonishing, targeted, multifaceted effects specifically against the mechanisms that drive both BPH and prostate cancer cells. Let's dive into the science, the real data often buried in complex journals. Pomegranates are absolutely loaded with some of the most potent antioxidants known to man, far exceeding the antioxidant capacity of red wine, green tea, blueberries, or acai berries, often by a factor of 3 or more. We're not just talking about generic antioxidants. We're talking about specific, highly bioactive polyphenols, primarily punicalagins, unique to, pomegranate, and ellagic acid. These are not just passive protectors. They are active warriors within your body. Now, what have real published studies, often small but incredibly promising, shown that pomegranate extract and juice can do? Dramatically slow prostate cancer cell proliferation. This means they actively interfere with the signals that tell cancer cells to multiply wildly and uncontrollably. They put the brakes on tumor growth. Induce apoptosis, program cell death. This is absolutely crucial, the holy grail of natural cancer therapy. Apoptosis means programmed cell death. Pomegranate compounds, particularly punicalagins, have been shown in laboratory studies to essentially flip the self-destruct switch within prostate cancer cells, causing them to die off naturally without harming healthy cells. Powerfully reduce inflammation. Chronic underlying inflammation is now recognized as a major driver of almost all chronic diseases, including BPH and cancer growth. Pomegranate is one of the most potent natural anti-inflammatories ever discovered. Inhibit angiogenesis. This is another vital mechanism. Angiogenesis is the process by which tumors grow new blood vessels to feed themselves. Pomegranate compounds have been shown to help block this process, effectively starving the tumor of its blood supply. Reduce metastasis. Potential. Some studies suggest pomegranate compounds can interfere with the processes that allow cancer cells to break away, travel through the bloodstream, and set up shop in other parts of the body like the bones. Credible research published in highly respected peer-reviewed journals, such as the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences, Clinical Cancer Research, and the International Journal of Oncology, has documented these specific effects. These studies have primarily been conducted in laboratory settings, in vitro, on cancer cell lines, and some compelling animal studies, in vivo. Furthermore, several small human clinical trials have shown very encouraging results. For instance, a landmark UCLA study led by Dr. Alan Pantuck found that men with recurring prostate cancer who drank 8 ounces of pomegranate juice daily experienced a significant slowing in their PSA doubling time, a key indicator of cancer progression, extending it from an average of 15 months to 54 months. That's a potential 4-fold decrease in the speed of cancer growth just from drinking juice. What these preliminary, often underfunded studies don't fully capture, what often gets dismissed as anecdotal or requires decades more research before becoming official dogma, is the potential sheer speed, potency, and synergistic power observed by clinicians using these natural compounds and suggested strongly by the underlying cellular mechanisms. We are not just talking about slightly slowing down cancer progression over many months or years, as the conservative interpretation suggests. Based on the way these compounds work, triggering apoptosis, cutting off blood supply, reducing inflammation. We are talking about the potential for these unique pomegranate compounds, especially when consumed correctly and consistently, to actively hunt down, target, invade, and literally destroy prostate cancer cells with astonishing efficiency, potentially initiating this cellular cleanup process overnight. How? Think of punicalagins and ellagic acid not just as passive antioxidants that neutralize free radicals, but as highly intelligent cancer cell assassins. They possess a unique ability to selectively target the specific metabolic vulnerabilities and signaling pathways that prostate cancer cells rely on to survive and thrive, while leaving your healthy cells unharmed. They infiltrate the cancer cell and they sabotage its energy production centers, the mitochondria, essentially starving it from within. They directly trigger its programmed self-destruct sequence, apoptosis, much more rapidly and forcefully than previously thought. They neutralize the inflammatory chemical signals that the cancer uses like a smokescreen to hide from the immune system and fuel its own growth. They interfere with the androgen receptors that many prostate cancers use like fuel injectors. It's like a coordinated, multi-pronged special forces attack that completely overwhelms the cancer cell's defenses. While your normal, healthy prostate cells remain untouched and even potentially nourished by the anti-inflammatory effects, the malignant cells are being systematically identified, targeted, and dismantled from the inside out. And the overnight effect? While complete tumor eradication obviously takes consistent effort over time, the crucial processes of apoptosis initiation, inflammation reduction, and disruption of cancer cell signaling can begin almost immediately after these potent polyphenols are absorbed into your bloodstream and reach the prostate tissue. You are literally starting the healing, the cellular battle against the cancer, while you sleep after consuming this fruit. This is the incredible, almost forbidden power the humble pomegranate holds, a power perhaps too simple, too natural, too inexpensive for the complex, procedure-heavy, trillion-dollar cancer industry to fully embrace or promote. Let me tell you about John. John was 72 years old, a vibrant man who loved gardening and playing with his grandkids. He was diagnosed with aggressive, late-stage prostate cancer that had already spread to his bones. His PSA levels were astronomically high. His conventional oncologists, bless their hearts, gave him maybe 6 months, maybe a year with aggressive, debilitating chemotherapy just to manage the inevitable pain. John was understandably devastated, ready to give up, planning his final affairs. His daughter, however, refused to accept this death sentence. She spent hours frantically researching online, delving into alternative and nutritional therapies. She stumbled upon some of the preliminary research and powerful anecdotal stories surrounding pomegranates. She approached John, clutching printouts, tears in her eyes. She was desperate. She convinced him, "Dad, please. What do we honestly have to lose at this point? Just try it." John, skeptical but seeing the love and desperation in his daughter's eyes, agreed. He started drinking pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice every single day. A specific amount, prepared a certain way, which I will share with you in just a moment. He continued alongside his conventional palliative care, but frankly, with very little personal hope. 3 months later, he went back for his scheduled checkup and scans. His oncologist called him into the office, not with the usual grim prognosis, but looking utterly puzzled, almost bewildered, shuffling through the papers. He looked up at John and said, "John, I don't understand this. Your PSA levels, they haven't just slowed down. They have plummeted by over 80%. And these scans, the bone metastases, they appear to be shrinking. Some are even disappearing." The oncologist couldn't explain it based on the palliative care alone. "John," he said, shaking his head, "I have been doing this for 30 years, and I have never seen anything quite like this with this stage of cancer. Whatever you are doing differently, for God's sake, keep doing it." Today, 5 years later, John is not just alive. He is thriving. His cancer is officially in remission. He is back in his garden. He plays golf 3 times a week. He attributes his miracle, alongside the supportive care of his eventually amazed doctors, to the simple daily ritual of drinking that forbidden pomegranate juice. Now, John's story is remarkable, perhaps exceptional, but it highlights the profound potential we are talking about. So how do you harness this power for yourself, whether for prevention, managing BPH, or supporting cancer recovery? The precise protocol. Choose the right juice. This is absolutely critical. You cannot cheat here. You need 100% pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice. Read the label carefully. Avoid anything labeled cocktail, blend, drink, or anything listing added sugars, high fructose corn syrup, or other fruit juices. Ingredients should ideally say only pomegranate juice, possibly organic pomegranate juice. Not from concentrate is generally preferred, but pure concentrate diluted correctly is better than a sugary blend. Remember, sugar feeds cancer and inflammation, so sweetened versions are completely counterproductive. Organic is always best if your budget allows, to avoid pesticides. Look for cold-pressed if possible, as heat can degrade some nutrients. The optimal dose, based on the clinical studies, like Dr. Pantuck's and traditional use, the generally recommended therapeutic dose is 8 ounces, approximately 240 milliliters, per day. That's one standard glass. Drinking significantly more is not necessarily better, can add a substantial amount of natural sugar, which should still be moderated, and isn't required to get the benefits of the potent polyphenols. Consistency at this dose is far more important than megadosing sporadically. The strategic timing. To maximize the absorption of those crucial punicalagins and ellagic acid, the best time is arguably on an empty stomach, ideally first thing in the morning, about 15 to 20 minutes before you eat breakfast. This allows the potent compounds to be absorbed rapidly into your bloodstream without interference or dilution from other foods digesting simultaneously. If morning isn't feasible, drinking it between meals, at least 2 hours after eating and 30 minutes before the next meal, is the second best option. The bioavailability booster, optional but highly recommended. Add a tiny pinch of freshly ground black pepper. Yes, black pepper. It sounds strange, but the active compound piperine in black pepper has been scientifically shown to dramatically increase the bioavailability, the amount your body can actually absorb and utilize, of many beneficial plant compounds, potentially including the polyphenols in pomegranate, sometimes by up to 2,000%. Just a tiny pinch is needed. So the daily ritual. Drink 1 8-ounce glass of pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice, preferably organic and not from concentrate, with a tiny pinch of black pepper every single morning on an empty stomach. Make it your non-negotiable daily act of prostate protection. While pomegranate is the undisputed star of this protocol, you can further enhance its powerful effects and support overall prostate health by incorporating a few other simple, synergistic strategies. Think of these as boosting the power of your main weapon. Add lycopene power, the dynamic duo. Remember lycopene, the powerful antioxidant famous from tomatoes and also found in watermelon, pink grapefruit, guava. Lycopene works through slightly different but complementary pathways to protect prostate cells. Eating cooked tomatoes, like in sauce or paste, with a little bit of healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado, dramatically increases lycopene absorption. Combining daily pomegranate juice with regular intake of cooked tomato products creates a powerful 1-2 punch against prostate problems. Green tea synergy, the antioxidant army. Green tea is rich in potent antioxidants called catechins, particularly EGCG, epigallocatechin galat. Some fascinating preliminary research suggests that combining the polyphenols from pomegranate with the catechins from green tea might have synergistic anti-cancer effects, meaning they work better together than either one alone. Consider adding 1 to 2 cups of high-quality green tea to your daily routine, preferably brewed, not bottled. Cruciferous power, detox, and defense. Vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, and cabbage contain a remarkable compound called sulforaphane. Sulforaphane has been extensively studied for its powerful detoxification, enhancing, and cancer protective effects, including against prostate cancer. Aim to include several servings of these cruciferous vegetables in your diet each week. Lightly steamed is often best. Zinc and selenium, essential mineral support. Ensure you are getting adequate zinc. Pumpkin seeds are a great source, and selenium, Brazil nuts, are a great source. The richest source, just 1 to 2 per day. These two minerals are absolutely critical for prostate health and function. Deficiencies are common and can exacerbate prostate issues. Crucial mistakes: you absolutely must avoid sugary juice or impure products. I cannot stress this enough. Avoid pomegranate cocktails, drinks, or blends loaded with added sugar, high fructose corn syrup, or other cheap filler juices. You will completely negate the anti-inflammatory and potentially anti-cancer benefits. Read labels diligently. Pure juice only. Stopping or replacing conventional medical treatment. This is vitally important and a matter of safety. Pomegranate juice and these supportive measures are powerful adjuncts, complementary strategies. They are not a replacement for your doctor's advice, diagnosis, or prescribed treatments for diagnosed BPH or prostate cancer. Always use these natural approaches alongside, never instead of, conventional medical care. Discuss your use of pomegranate juice with your doctor or oncologist. Transparency is key. Inconsistency and impatience. Drinking pomegranate juice sporadically a few times a week or only for a short period likely won't yield significant therapeutic results. The benefits accumulate over time with consistent daily use. This needs to become a long-term habit, like taking a vital daily supplement or medication. Be patient and persistent. Today you've learned about nature's potentially forbidden secret weapon for prostate health. You've learned about the extraordinary pomegranate, packed with unique cancer cell assassins like punicalagins and ellagic acid. You heard John's incredible story of hope and remission, and you learned the simple, precise protocol to potentially harness this ancient power for yourself, starting tomorrow morning. The fear surrounding prostate health is pervasive and understandable. But hope is real too, and sometimes profound hope comes not from a complex, invasive procedure or a toxic chemical, but from the simple, elegant wisdom of nature, hidden in plain sight within a humble, delicious fruit. You now possess knowledge that most men, even many doctors in the conventional system, overlook or dismiss. The power to take proactive, natural steps for your prostate health, whether for prevention, managing BPH symptoms, or supporting cancer recovery, is now firmly in your hands. If this information resonated deeply with you, if it ignited a spark of hope or provided a new, empowering direction to explore, I ask for 3 simple things in return from the bottom of my heart. First, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing to this channel. My commitment, my sole purpose here, is to unearth and share these powerful, often suppressed, natural health secrets to empower you, to give you back control over your own well-being. Your subscription helps this vital information reach more men who desperately need it. Second, share this video. Please right now think of just one man in your life, your father, your brother, your husband, your son, your best friend, who is over 40 or 50, who might be worried about his prostate, or who could simply benefit from this preventative knowledge. Send this video link to them right now. It could be the most important, potentially life-saving message they receive this year. Don't hesitate. And finally, and most importantly, take action. Don't just watch and forget. Knowledge is only potential power. Action is real power. Get yourself some pure, unsweetened pomegranate juice tomorrow morning. And if you are going to commit to making this powerful ritual a part of your daily routine, go down to the comments section right now and declare your intention. Type, "I am protecting my prostate." Let's create a powerful wave of positive intention. I want to hear your stories as you progress. I want to build a supportive community of men, empowering each other and taking charge of their health naturally. Share your experiences, your questions, your results in the coming weeks and months. Your journey can inspire and give hope to countless others walking this path. I'm Dr. Alan Reed. Don't let fear paralyze you. Let knowledge empower you. Let nature guide you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your courage to explore a different path.